Hello, everybody.
Hello.
It's Mike and Wayne.
Otherwise known as Rico and Rico.
Oh, the Rico Show. That's true.
Don't forget the name of the show.
That's true. Oh, you know what, Rico? Let me move the...
Technical difficulties.
As usual.
Aha, good.
Let me move that over where it's...
Look how slick this program is. I'm telling you, folks, TV Paint.
TV Pay. Wait until they pay us to promote them.
Oh, yeah, we won't mention it until we get a kickback. You hear that, TV Paint? Kickback!
Here we go. Okay.
Thank you.
All right. Hello, everybody. Happy holidays. Hope everyone's having, as with the situation we're all in.
Yep.
Oh, I'm a little delayed. There we go. Now, Rico, you look pretty well centered.
Yeah,
You
I
think?
feel centered.
Okay. All right. And I am. There we go.
Hey, wait a minute. How come your lighting looks better on you than my lighting? I mean, I'm washed out and you look nice and natural.
It doesn't on this camera, dude. I checked it out before. It's just because of up in there. You look great. Trust me on that one.
So you got the better camera.
No, you do. I'm
Oh,
gonna bring that camera over here. You got the good one. I got the cheap one. It's up here.
Okay. I'll take your word for it.
This guy, man. Let me see. What can I do to... I think our lighting's okay. It just looks that way up there. You'll see.
Oh, okay.
But maybe...
Just
you see that switch over there, dude? Go over there. We're going to start... No, not that one. Just drag it down.
Wow.
Okay. All right.
Look at that.
So you look
Pops
a
you
little
out of the
washed out,
background
but that's
now.
really not the way it looks. So you look fine.
You look good because you're popped out of the background.
Okay. Thank you for the free masterclass. You are welcome.
Absolutely welcome.
Origitunes, hello. Okay, so what are we going to talk about, Rico?
Well, I figured I'd do a demo today that shows weightlessness, like Peter Pan floating around kind of a thing.
Okay.
You know, something like that. Yeah,
All right.
something different other than, your typical bouncing ball stuff.
Well, that's a good one.
Yeah, it's
That's
different.
a good one. It's sort of going to be sort of like flying up in the air, but no gravity.
Yeah, I'm going to try to emulate, weightlessness and try to see how we can manipulate a character to move around without pushing off of an object or anything, just kind of through
Great.
the will of flying, kind of
I
thing.
get you.
Yeah.
I have those dreams at times where I fly in my dreams.
Do you?
I do. I really do. I wish I could.
I think we all do. All right, cool.
Okay.
So and on that note,
Okay.
I'll start it off.
Picking on me.
I got to give him trouble. He has too cush of a life. Okay, let's see now. You got to think before you start.
I thought you'd already thought about this beforehand.
Well, I did, but I'm just saying that,
Okay.
now he's giving me... See, karma. Okay, I am going to have a character into the frame here. And by the way, this is going to be nice and loose and fun and fancy-free. Oh, got to turn that little...
There you go.
There we go. This thing on. Flip, flip, flip. Very important. I teach a physical class on Saturdays now down in Hollywood. And we're doing it all on paper. It's wonderful. And I have to
Where are you teaching?
emphasize. It's a place called Noman, School of Visual Arts, or Visual Effects, sorry.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, it's a really cool place. It's got a lot of old Hollywood history behind it.
Let's see here. Hello, Infinite Imagination. And Joe R. Hello. Rick Hoppy, isn't that?
Hey!
One must gather
Now-
one's thoughts.
What?
He said, Rick Hoppy says, one must gather one's thoughts.
He's absolutely right. And by the way, that guy, Rick Hoppy,
Yeah?
he's awesome, man. He worked at Disney forever. He was in the assistant animation department, and you know you have to be a really good draftsman to be an assistant animator.
Hello, Rick.
You know that.
Yes. That's the final product that you guys see on the screen.
Explain for a minute why to the viewing audience why assistant animators have to have such high-skilled draftsmanship.
Oh, because they're the ones, the animators, and all animators, some work very rough, others work much cleaner, but it's the assistant animators who will put in the in-betweens and do the cleanup drawings. So when you see that final version that's in the theaters for traditional animation, it's because of them the way it looks consistently good throughout the entire feature.
It's actually their images that you're seeing.
It is their images. And some films, will have a certain design or style to them. Like some films will have a thick outer line, thin inner lines, or thickness where it tapers off, and it's all the assistants who create that and keep it consistent. They also have to stay aware of the volume. Sometimes the animators' roughs will kind of grow or shrink a little bit, but it's the key assistants who have to make sure that everything stays, the same volumes throughout the scenes and the movie. So I mean, they are the final focus of the characters to make them look consistent throughout the film. I hope that answers it.
You have to watch the volumes and the model as well, which is all taken care of for you in CG. So it takes much more.
So Rick, he had assisted for 15 years, then animated for 15 years.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my God. No wonder.
So now let me tell you, if you assisted for 15 years and then go to animation, you have a lot of pity for the assistants. So I imagine, Rick, tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, that you were pretty aware to keep everything pretty clear and clean for the assistants. Let's see. I hear this. Soda Pop says, I hear Disney is looking to train new people for traditional animation now. I did not know that. Did you know that, Rico?
It's the first I've heard of it.
I didn't know that. Soda Pop, you might know more than us. I'm going to look into that. We want to work there again, right?
Sure.
Yeah. Let's see. Can you show us how to do a double bounce walk? Yes, we will make that one of our live streams.
That's a good one, yeah.
With the double bounce walk. I tell you who explains it real well. If you want to check it out before we do one, is Richard Williams shows it really well. Preston Blair and Eric Goldberg. Those 3 books, they show it really well. Rick wrote back, yes, much sympathy.
Yeah, he's really good. He's one of the mainstay staff that's really, really top notch. It's proven himself many times over.
A veteran.
Yes, a veteran at the studio.
Look at that! Wow, Rico, you're doing that quick.
Yeah, see?
It's Peter Pan.
Peter Pan. No, I mean, this is also trying to illustrate how quickly you can throw stuff down just by keeping it loose, not getting all tied up in details, which I know we all love to do. I do as well, so.
Yeah, and what Mike is showing you here is just the hardcore animation aspect of it. Where you're not getting all bogged down with, you can put the cape on later, or whatever other elements in the design that the character has. You can always add that later. But if you're just trying to understand the big shapes and understand how it works within animation, this is why we're always working loose, because we don't want you to get distracted with the drawings. We'll do videos more on drawing later on. And by the way, I want to apologize. We haven't done a live stream in a long time. We've just the holidays have been here, and like I said before, we're kind of informal about this, but we're going to try to set up a more disciplined weekly or monthly live stream. I hope that helps. Rick said you mentioned Three Giants in animation.
Oh, the books you were talking about.
Richard
Williams.
You're right.
He forgets real quick. It's okay, folks.
I'm older than him.
That's right.
Yes, Preston Blair.
Keep using that.
Preston Blair,
Yep.
a giant in animation. He was actually, God bless Preston Blair, he wrote the first book I ever found on animation. And way before, when did that come out? 1960?
Wow, that's a good question. The first one that came out, I
Yeah,
think,
the big
was
yellow one.
in the 50s, probably late
50s?
50s. I'm guessing, yeah.
And
I'm just guessing.
that was
Could
the
be
book.
earlier.
When I saw that book, that was it for me, because I was always curious about animation, and I was little. I think I was about 7 or 8, and I saw that, and man, I made my mom drive me back there. I was with a friend of mine, and I made my mom drive me back the next day to go buy it. Yes, I had to make a bunch of beds and do some gardening work to pay it. Anyway, that's a great book. And then Eric Goldberg, as I hope you all know, is just, a master.
Yeah.
He's great. His book is great. And then everyone knows about Eric Goldberg and Richard Williams.
Yeah.
Those books, they pretty much tell it all. And so does The Illusion of Life. It's a lot of reading. Let's see what else here. Hello from New York City. Hello.
Hey,
Joe R.
my old stomping ground.
Also, I think 12-month paid position. I have to read. The Google search reveals the comments about Disney is correct. They're looking for traditional animators.
Son of a
Okay.
gun.
You guys can all see that. Rashmi, you're very welcome. Hey, buddy, how you doing? I didn't see the name there. How are you? You're welcome. I'm sorry, Joar. I know we've been. You just had some personal stuff come up. I have missed you guys and just caught you by accident a few minutes ago. I'm glad you could join us. Let me see. Rick says again, I'm older than anybody else in animation. I don't think he's older than me, is he?
I don't know, to tell you the truth. I don't know. That's a good question. But you know what? Hey, we're not spring chickens anymore, that's for sure.
No, my back will testify to that. Tefik! There you go. Hello, young blood. Bree Animation Station. Is that right? Breemation Station. Eric Goldberg is my inspiration. His book is really simple to follow. Yes, that is what I will say about Eric Goldberg's book.
I have a
It
quick
is
question.
very-
If I want to put this on twos, do I just drag this or does that
just
erase the thing?
double click right there.
Right here?
Yeah, just double click. Boom, boom. Okay, go up to the right
But I
bar.
only want one section on twos.
Oh, all right. Click again. Get out of there.
Oh, the section I want, I got to highlight?
No, but you highlight it down at the bottom.
Oh, right here?
Yeah.
Okay, gotcha. Sorry, folks, I just need a little
No, it's okay.
technical. Right there to there. So that one is 8 to 13.
Okay, so
it's like 8
highlight
to
that.
13. Okay.
Go up to the right bar. You know the way.
Oh,
yeah, just right there, and then see.
Oh, 2s?
2s.
Nice.
Sacre bleu.
Thank you. Sorry, go.
What were we
There we
talking
go.
about?
Yeah,
Oh, right.
That's the way.
Animation Station. Yes, that's what I agree with. That's very cool. That Eric Goldberg, I do. I think I always recommend reading that one first. Of the 2 books that I always recommend, Goldberg's and Williams.
Let's see. You
Cool.
know, out of those 3 books, I personally prefer Preston Blair the best. You know why? Because it's so simple, and he covers roughs more than the other books. He shows about roughs. You know what I mean?
That's true. He does.
The other
he
guys
does.
don't really do that.
Illusion of Life does. But you are correct there. Eric Goldberg and Richard Williams draw so well that. But even Eric Goldberg, he draws real simple. He doesn't draw with multiple lines, but he draws real simple and puts it down. Richard Williams always drew clean. Preston Blair does get into that, but he shows that more in the second book, right?
Yes.
The blue book.
Yeah, he doesn't show it in the first
But now
one.
it's a compilation. It's a compilation of both books now, and he does talk about it. Also, The Illusion of Life. That woke me up to rough drawings. They show a lot of like Bill Titler, Freddie Morse, Frank Thomas.
Yeah.
You know, they show a lot of the roughs. Thank you, Rick. I think. Let's see. So explain. You want to explain, Rico?
I'm just right now. I'm just doing a thing where I'm trying to put a little dimension into this.
Well, let me ask you this: why did you put those on 2s up there?
Oh, because I hit the play button and the whole thing went too fast at the top.
Okay.
So I just added those, made them 2s. You know, because it slows it down. Gives a better slow in up there.
Okay, so he put the 2s, you guys, right up at the peak, like the bouncing ball.
The change of direction.
Yeah. But it slows it up there, and so he just animated this straight ahead, and then he looked at it, did a pencil test, reviewed it, and said, I want to slow it down, and he just digitally, very simple, just put them on 2s. But I want you to understand, that's why he did that. That was just to get some more texture within the timing, which is really important for all of animation. I hope that made sense.
Yeah, it did. Yeah, it doesn't. It went by too quick. You know, for every artist is different. So some people might want that effect, but I didn't want that. So I just kind of changed the timing a little bit, and it adds more visual interest to it to do that.
And now what he's doing, he's putting in the eye line, which will give it a 3-dimensional quality.
Yes, you can
even
see
though
it.
his shapes, you can feel, even though he made the shape simple, it still has that 3-dimensional quality of moving in space, the shapes and forms.
This is like the back of the head, and he turns around here. That's why his legs do a little twirl right there. They kind of flip around. Put his eye in there too. There we go. Cool. So now I'm going to have him re-enter and do a little something here. Let's see. He comes in this way, loops around. Oh, another.
So when you were doing this, let me ask questions if they're not
Yeah,
asking.
sure.
When you're doing this, now you were following the path of action, right?
Yeah, I didn't draw one first, but now I'm going to draw one. This I just kind of did with the onion skin on, and I could see where where I was coming from, so I put this on. As you can see, I can see all the
Which is
previous
really
drawings.
important, you guys. So he's following that arc. If he put one drawing, can I show them something?
Yeah, sure.
I want to show them.
Just don't mess anything up.
Well, I'm gonna mess something up purposely. Get your butt over there.
Oh, we're switching.
It's unprecedented.
We're switching. He's going to come down here. I'm going to, on this drawing, right there, that's highlighted, I'm going to show you guys something here. That if I went over here, apply, go back here, watch this. See that hitch? You can see, well, it goes by so quick. There's a little bit of hitch in there, but what I'm going to do is go back. I'm going to go to this drawing, do the same thing. I'm going to take, what I'm doing here is I'm taking it out of arc. And I'll just move that. Don't worry, Rico, I'm going to be able to get it back.
My work!
Okay, now you'll see. Now,
ooh, that's a big jitter.
okay, see that hitch right? Yeah, the jitter. He jitters right up in here. What I want you to know, hold on, waiting for it, hoping it will. See right there, there's that jitter. That's going out of arc, and I just want you guys to understand, if you see that in your animation, that means that you went out of arc. Just be aware, it's that simple. So you see it, you'll know I went out of arc, and you got to go back to that section and put it back in arc, and then it will be smooth again. Now, before Rico gets mad at me, I'm going to,
Before I have a heart attack,
put everything back and put Rico back in this chair.
we switch again.
Yes, we did.
Thank you.
I hope that made sense, you guys. That is one of the main concepts of all of animation, is that you want to stay in arc unless you purposely want a jitter in there.
Yeah, that's a really good point too, because if these rules are there to be followed and used, but if you want to break those rules, you can get a certain effect. Like if I wanted a shivering thing where he's cold, I would want to break the arcs like that and make it jitter.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What he could have also done, which we're not going to do now because I don't know TV paint well enough, at the stop, at the very peak up there, he could have had it come up and sort of stop like that. Like, and all that would be is within those same drawings, he'd move one frame back and put that frame right in there. He would just stagger those drawings right up in there, and you would get that sort of skidding to the top, and then he proceeds going back down.
Yeah.
But we have a video about staggers and how to approach staggers, so check those out. Alrighty.
So if I wanna pan over on the timeline over here to get more time, I have to add time on the layer first, I'm assuming. Yep.
So what do you want to do? I'm sorry.
I'm doing it now. I'm just adding more time over here. That's
okay.
all. Yeah. Got it. Any questions?
No.
Because I have a point that I wanted to mention. In Richard Williams' book, he has this photograph that says animation is concentration. And he even says in his masterclass, turn it off, unplug it, unhook, no phones, no nothing, no internet. You have to concentrate when you're animating. And I totally agree. But I just figured out why I like to have music on when I'm animating. It helps me, actually, because I play a musical instrument. So,
that
it makes a difference, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, I guess.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. So,
well, wait a minute. Dick Williams played a trumpet, too, so that doesn't make any sense. Never mind.
But you know what? The truth about that is when I was younger, I needed to have music on. I was just too amped out. And it would calm me down. And it didn't take me away from my animation. I now I don't have anything on. It isn't because, what do you want to undo?
Yeah.
Right up there.
Okay. Go ahead, sorry.
Now it does take my focus away, so I don't have it on. But as far as, if you want music or, I don't know, whatever you want, whatever works for you. You know, you just gotta figure out what works for you. And Mike, he's still all amped out, so he needs to. Are you listening?
Yeah, I'm listening.
So he still needs to have that music on. I'm just playing around with Rico.
I'm just making a path here that I
Okay.
can follow. Uh-oh, but this frame has to go back over there. I should have drawn that.
Let me see. Bemation Station
Actually, this is
992. The jitter done there reminds me of Smear. Smear. I would say the jitter. Nah, it's not the same. A smear, you still follow the big arc of the shape, but you don't. Right? You don't go out of it. The arc.
No. A smear, you still follow the principles of the path of action in the arc.
Yeah.
It's just that you're distorting and elongating like bubble gum or elastic or silly putty. Or
Yeah.
something.
So I would say, just to be clear on that, I would say that you'd want to. They're two different concepts, basically, is what I'm saying. Wow, I guess it's true. So Disney is going back to traditional.
I can't
Wow.
believe
I gotta get on the internet more.
it.
That's great. I'm really glad to hear that too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's good news.
good for you, Sergio Pablos. You brought it back. By the way, I really liked Klaus.
Oh, it's beautiful. Beautiful work. I have some students that worked on that, believe it or not.
Do you?
Yeah.
Really?
I was so happy.
Oh, they're in Europe, right?
Yep.
Yeah. Mike taught in Europe for how many years did you do
On
that?
and off for about 10 years.
For about 10 years.
So now I've drawn in myself a path of action so I can follow, and there's the head, and I'll just follow that. So that's the timing I want. Now I just go in and draw the body.
Can I see it at speed?
Oh, yeah.
Very cool. So
It's pretty-
this time he did. He put in a path of action to follow. And now what are you going to do?
Now I'm going to add the body into this.
Okay. All right. And this is another approach. You know, you guys, everybody, first one, he didn't put in a path of action. Now he is following the path of action. And I would recommend most people to do that. You know, if you got a scene like this, the reason why I'd recommend that you would put it in there is so you know where you're going with your character, and that the character doesn't go off screen or something. You just got something to go by. And then you just put in the head first.
Mm-hmm. It's a placeholder, and now I'm just going to flesh out the rest of the body here. Real nice and loose. Just worried about movement. That's about it. Nothing more.
You stay right where you are. I'm gonna get you. Get Rico a little more frame.
This?
Yeah, you're fine. No,
Oh.
no, you're good where you were.
Ah.
Okay. Oh, okay, Bemation. I hope that answered it for you. It's just there is that difference. So, all right, you guys got any questions? Don't be shy. Oh, it's not Bemation. I'm sorry, Bremation. I'm sorry.
Watch it.
I'm trying, Rico. I'm trying.
I'll give him a hassle on my end over here. Don't you worry.
Can you talk a little bit as you're doing this? Sir?
Yeah, I'm trying to follow the path, but I'm also trying to think about a little bit of perspective. Like I had the head shrink a little bit, so he's like going away in the distance. But yeah, I'm thinking about perspective as well, as coming at you or going away from you, kind of a thing. So.
Okay.
Yeah, that's all. I'm just trying to make sure I overlap certain things to make it semi-believable. Like I'll have this arm be in front and this arm's behind the head, that kind of thing, little things like that.
Right, and you're showing a little foreshortening there.
Yeah,
because it's coming towards us.
Yeah, on the body there, it gets real foreshortened, and then it's going to come out of it here. Just little stuff like that that I think about. All the time trying to keep a nice flow through the whole body. And then I'll turn off this path of action line, and you can see what it looks like as a result, quote unquote, of following it, Yeah, it's funny, in some past episodes that we did, Rick Hoppy was on there, but it was under the name Richard Hoppy, and I'm not used to calling him Richard Hoppy. It's always been Rick Hoppy.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, so I had no idea that was him.
Oh.
But in the back of my mind, I was thinking, Hoppy. There's not a lot of Hoppies around. I wonder if it's the same guy. And sure enough, that's the man.
Andrew Sharp says, awesome, just got here. Looking forward to watching the rest later. Thank you for showing this approach. You're very welcome. Thank you, Rico.
Oh, you're more than welcome.
Now just hurry it up.
I'm trying. Why you?
Why you, I oughta.
Now it's a little cramped in here, right here in this spot, so I'm having a little trouble trying to make them fit, but we'll see what happens.
It's gonna work.
It could look like garbage for all
It's
I
gonna
know.
work. It's big shape.
We'll see.
Just ask me. It's gonna work.
I'll tell you one thing, animating sure is fun. I likes it.
Falon144, love the channel, guys. Thank you very much. Glad to hear that.
Hey, ask some people
Underrated channel.
what
Thank
time,
you.
ask folks what time zone they're in, what time it is over where they're at. I'm
Yeah,
just
what
curious.
time zone are some of you in? That's a good question.
Yeah, just curious. If it's like midnight or what.
We know we get a lot of viewers, and we apologize for that, from the other side of the world, like from India and stuff. It's just we're trying to make out a schedule where it will work for everybody. Rick says, I used Richard in the credits to honor my father, whose name was Richard.
Oh, that's cool.
Good man. Falon144 says it's 11 p.m.
Woo!
Where are you?
It's 9 hours.
Falon. Eastern time. Eastern time. Anytime. Oh man.
What do we got?
Terrific animation. It's 1 a.m.
Oh.
So is that in India? It's 3:02 p.m. in Canada near the Yukon.
Wow.
Leonardo, our paisan. It's 5 p.m. in Italy.
5
Okay.
p.m. Wow.
Yeah,
Tomorrow.
that's not bad.
No, not. Yeah, it's tomorrow, 5 p.m.
And then Urgitunes, 10 p.m. here.
How do I turn
Colombia. Oh, that's in Colombia. It's 5 p.m. I'm sorry, I got it. What's that?
How
What
do I
you wanna
turn
do?
off this layer?
Let's see.
Just so it doesn't show.
As I remember, it's that. Is that what you mean?
Yeah,
Okay.
because I wanted to see what it looked like
Okay.
without the line of action. There we go.
Bremation Station says, how do I make my characters more three-dimensional? I'll tell you, is just by drawing a lot. You gotta take figure drawing, you guys. Draw animals, draw in cafes, restaurants. Take a lot of figure drawing, and we will do. You know what? We're going to do a live stream on drawing, and I'll explain the basic way to do it. But it's really just taking drawing classes and working in that classic sense of understanding form. I would say almost more than shape, actually. I always talk about shape, but form and how to see those shapes three-dimensionally in space. Now, again, I want you to understand that check out our tutorials that we have on one-on-one animation, because I talk a lot about drawing. Check those out, and when I do a live stream on it, it's going to be the same principles, just drawing forms. Very cool. Very cool, dude.
Yes. You can really see the the line of action in the second part, where, because it's so fast, you can basically see the line, that it leaves like an after image,
Yeah, and he's just flying around.
It's like a little roller coaster, yeah. And that's how, the thing that I love about this is you can throw it down so fast and then look at it and say, I don't like this, I don't like that, I want to change this, I want to change that.
Yeah, and you can change the timing. You can take out drawings if you feel like you put too many in. I mean, this is truly straight ahead animation. This is, and it's a good way. It's a good way, I will say, in the very beginning for you to approach it. But a lot of veteran animators, work straight ahead. Frank Thomas, from what I understood, he works straight ahead. He would figure out everything in thumbnails, but work straight ahead. Andrew says that looks awesome.
Thank you.
Oh, in Newcastle's. Let's see. Oh, it's in Newcastle's, 10 p.m. there. Okay.
Wow.
And then, oh,
interesting.
Rashmi, it is 3:30 a.m. in India.
Wow.
Oh, man.
Thanks for tuning in.
Thanks for tuning in.
You want to save this? Before I delete everything.
Oh, just go up there, file, save. I already have it. Just hit, just say save project.
Okay, cool. That's all I got. That's pretty much it.
That's all you got?
Unless you want to just go over a little solidity and drawing, that's all.
I could, do you want to do that or me do it? The drawing?
You could do it.
Okay,
yeah.
I'll do it. We'll talk about drawing here a little bit, you guys.
A dual episode.
A dual episode. There you go. Move over to the left.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I'm joking.
I should have known.
Am I getting all weak on this? Jeez, really? Am I that bad?
It's funny because I'll joke with him like 24/7, and then he'll throw a joke back at me, and I'll go, "Huh?"
That's true.
It's totally true. I do that with everybody.
He gets all sensitive.
I get totally serious like in 2 seconds. I have no idea why.
But with me,
No,
we've known each other since 1980. What?
83.
Okay, look. The first thing you got to understand is how to make your characters three-dimensional. Well, the characters are made up of shapes and volumes. And what I mean by that is I'm going to take a shape like this, go like that, and I made it into a volume because I'm showing the underplane right there. And does that make sense yet? Maybe not. There's a center line, here's an eye line. And I just made it three-dimensional. It's a form now. I go in and I make an abstract shape, something like this. I don't even know what I'm creating. It's a pure shape at this point. I want to make it three-dimensional. I'm going to put in some perspective lines, goes like this, draw through, drawing down, and now I'm making it into a form where it's going away in perspective here, coming down here. Here's that plane matching with this one, and this is going to come around in. Like, ooh, that didn't come out very good.
Hey, Rick Hoppy has a quick question.
Okay.
He says, Wayne, in TV Paint, is it possible to import images drawn on paper?
Yes, it is. I have never... Have I imported? I've imported movies, but I've never imported actual images. I do it all on TV Paint, but you can import them, definitely.
I'm sure, yeah. It's definitely possible.
So there, I just made it into more of a form. So if you got a round oval, right? I want to make it, that's the shape, and I want to make it into a form. I just did it by drawing the center line going through the back. Preston Blair shows this great in his book. But then I want to create a character here. I draw the shape of the lower face right there, and I'm following that center line. I'm going to put a nose on it, comes down in front. There's a nose. I'll make him just into a generic sort of cartoon character, dog. There's the nose. Here's my big shapes, but right there I've already got a three-dimensional quality within those shapes and forms. Now, if I want to take it to the next level, I'm going to put in some eyes. Like I said, generic. Here's some eyes, his left eye, and then here's his right eye. To make it look more three-dimensional, this eye right there is going to be smaller because it's turning in space. The ellipse is getting smaller because you think of it as being mounted onto this oval ball. Don't worry, I'll just put some pupils in real quick. But anyway, that gets smaller because we got to think three-dimensionally as it's turning in space. This is why you want to take figure drawing and draw all the time. Draw like, you've heard me say this, draw like you breathe.
What does that mean?
That means draw all the time. See, unlike Mike, I'm not sensitive.
Yeah, it's true.
Which my wife, I don't think she likes that aspect about me. So anyway, so now we got, he's looking more three-dimensional. And in the beginning, you guys, it's good. It takes time. Slow down. Think about it. Think about the forms and shapes and drawing through that center line. And, that, as far as I'm concerned, this nose is almost a box. It's a triangle that goes back in space like that. Okay, let's now take it a step further. So we got our center line. If we're going to put those 40s kind of eyebrows on them, like Pluto or something, I'm thinking of this as a lip, this thick lip, that form that is going over the eyeball, up on the brow. Same thing here. He doesn't have an eyebrow like we do. It's just this thick lip because dogs don't have eyebrows. They have wrinkles up there. And this is the way to caricature it. But I'm thinking of that thickness. If I draw surface lines like right there, we now can see it's realized the thickness of that brow, of the flesh that's up there. Okay, so now,
Alphonse says it reminds him of Goofy.
okay, well, it's a mix between It's just a generic character.
Well, Andrew Sharp also has a question. He says, do you guys think doing sculpture would be beneficial to help learning drawing?
Definitely, yes, I do. Because you are literally you are working three-dimensionally. And the thing about doing sculpting is that when you turn it, you're going to say, whoa, okay, this part was looking okay, but as I turn it in space, I need to add more clay back here. And it definitely will help. You'll see the volumes as it's turning in space. So yes, I absolutely think it helps.
Definitely.
You?
Oh, absolutely. Okay. Yeah, there's a friend of ours named Mauro Maressa, and he's a sculptor, and oh man, his draftsmanship is phenomenal because of that.
Yeah, it's no matter what, it's going to get into your subconscious, and it's going to definitely make you see those volumes. So, and basically what I'm doing right now is I am sculpting with line drawing. That's really what I'm doing. I'm not doing graphic imagery of just like a UPA character that is, you know, a flat character where it's just cut out pieces. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting that down, but it's just a different approach of drawing. You know, if you just had little feet like this, hair, this is much more graphic right there. And when that character turns, when they would do it in UPA, they didn't really think about forms. It would just snap over. Let's say he does a head turn here. It would go like this and just come right there. That would be the head turn. It would pop from this one to this one very quickly. And if there was one in the middle, I would have to figure it out. I hope am I making sense here, Rico?
Yeah, you know what I think they did was, instead of just popping, which they did,
yeah.
I think they would like start to slow out of one, like a real favor, and then just pop over to the other favor. So it'd be like 1, 2, 3, 4.
That's a good point. Let me show what Mike's talking about there. I'll do that in red. So we're just going to say the black drawing is our first drawing, and this red drawing is going to be our second drawing. We're moving out from this first drawing into this drawing over here. They could just come in, have the eye start to turn slightly, like so. Everything starts to move slightly, screen right there, and maybe even show a little bit of the eye. Hair starts to move. Probably keep the head. Pull that ear slightly around. Head starts to turn. Now we're just looking at the red right there. You can see it moved screen right slightly. And that's what Mike is saying. It would start there and then it would pop over to there. Or you could have it slow in just the opposite direction. Does that make sense?
Yeah. What it's doing is it's starting your perception of a movement in one direction and then finishing a suggestion of that movement without describing it fully all the way through. So your mind gets kind of tricked into like, oh, it's starting to move, and then boom, it's over there. So your mind accepts it.
Right, exactly. And plus, I should say this, you could have this character, the designer, let's say the designer of the character, they would, what I call Picasso eyes, Pablo Picasso. They would do something like this. Let's say this is what the front view of the character is, but they would have both eyes looking at you, even though he's in a profile.
It's a cheat, yeah.
It's a cheat. And then you can have the ear like so, and everything else could just be the same. And this is just very graphic, you guys. So that is, it's just another way of illustrating animation. But if you're going to do that, the more three-dimensional Disney, Pixar, classic type stuff, let's go back here. You want to just be aware of drawing forms. This is much more like Renaissance way of thinking and Baroque way of thinking. So let's say right now he's got he's smiling. Let's put a little bit of cheek up there. We can feel that three-dimensional quality. Then right over here, we're going to have the mouth open. I'm going to find the other side of that mouth. Comes down like so, and just comes up into the head, and then right there we'll put in a tongue, ears. I'm going to see where that ear falls there, comes up, and it's an overlapping line right there. And then on the other side, right there, I know here's the inside of his left ear. I come up over there, I'm gonna find this ear is gonna be going away from us in the other direction. And we'll see the inside of the ear.
Right. Andrew Sharp has a question.
Oh, sure.
He says, which form of animation do you guys prefer, graphic or the solid style of animation?
Oh, I love it all.
I have to say, honestly, I like them both equally, but I was exposed to the graphic stuff before I was exposed to the solid stuff. So there's a soft spot in my heart for that.
Yeah.
But I do love them equally. I really do. It's 50-50.
I love them all. You know, a lot of people will think that the graphic, they'll think it's easier. It's not true. It isn't easier because you gotta make those characters still look on model, but you don't have the luxury of using these forms and thinking three-dimensionally. So it's just like what I did here. You know, this is supposed to be like a front view of the character. If I put a 0 over there, or 3/4, but it's very touchy. If you don't put it just right, you know, if you don't have a good designer, I've never been a character designer, but if you don't have a good designer, you know, the character's gonna look different in every scene. And go ahead.
That's something that on the Mighty Bee, when we worked on that, if it wasn't for those designers,
exactly,
they really solved a lot of problems for us.
Yeah, the Mighty Bee was sort of a cross of form and graphic.
Yeah, it kind of leaned more toward graphic, but yeah,
it did.
It was both.
It did, and that was a blast to work on for both of us. So I like them both.
Soda Pop says, by the way, thanks so much for doing these shows.
Oh, you're extremely welcome.
Are you familiar with Andrew?
Say you're welcome.
Oh, you're welcome. I'm sorry. Hey, you know what? Here, let me tell you something about animators. We're stuck in a cubicle drawing and in this universe for so many hours, for so many days, weeks, months, and years, that when we come outside and we start talking to real people, we lose all our social skills. So if I don't say you're welcome, it's because I'm
dude. Oh my God, man, I got to take Rico out to lunch today, man.
I'm telling it like it is.
You are. I always got my social skills. That's why a lot of people don't like me. They don't like my social skills.
Hey, Rick Hoppy says, even Captain Hook's nose was a graphic cheat. Did you know that?
Thinking about it now, it was. I think Captain Hook, Captain Crunch was sort of...
this is Captain Hook he's talking about.
Captain Hook?
Yeah, from Peter Pan. Captain Hook. His nose was a graphic cheat.
Was it? See, Rick would know because he did all those tie downs. I never even thought about it. It probably, if you watch Sleeping Beauty, that was for Disney, that was and Hercules, very graphic.
Oh God, yeah. But it's so much fun, you know. That's why I like them equally. But you know, if I had to tell you which one's easier, and this is going to sound weird because when you look at the graphic ones, they look like child drawings.
Yes.
And you think, oh, that's easy. No.
No.
Because when you look at the three-dimensional stuff, you think, oh, that's much more difficult because it's got all this form and everything. That makes it easier because you have the world of physics to reference to when you're doing stuff.
That's what
But you don't have that with the graphics.
No, you don't. So especially in animating. So when you got to do the head turn, or if the body gets knocked back in perspective, you got to keep that graphic quality. But I will say, when you learn this formula, the forms, and when you learn that, I think going to the graphic will be easier for you. Do you think?
No.
No, you don't. Really?
No, I don't. I think it's up to the individual, probably, right?
No, I mean if you're like you were trained and you were trained only in graphic imagery.
Yeah.
And then you were thrown onto a old
stuff.
Pluto
Right.
film or something. I would think it would be more difficult to go from that to the forms.
Oh yeah.
Understanding form. That's
I
what
think
I mean.
so. That makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, Rick Hoppy says Wayne and Mike create high quality content. Thank you so much for that. That's very nice acknowledgement.
That is, Rick. Thank you very much, sir.
And Breemation says, I noticed that the Mighty Bee has smoother animation than most shows around that time. How did it achieve this? By pushing the poses or better timing?
They had Mike and I working on it.
That's right.
No.
You notice I didn't skip a beat on that one.
No, the director, he was, I'll tell you, also Catscratch had some smooth animation in it and scenes. Both those directors, they were, they just wanted it and demanded it. And you know, they would, what was our director?
Eric Weiss?
Yeah,
or
Eric
Weiss? I don't know how to pronounce
Weiss,
it correctly.
He had Mike and I do a lot of animation for scenes. And the ones that were important to him, he thought were key scenes. And it definitely helps because we were doing full animation.
Yeah, and he was really good at that style as well. So between the character designer's help and input from him, it made our job a lot easier.
I think Eric actually, did he design those? I think he might. I remember watching him draw the Mighty Bee, drawing
I think he must have.
the dog one time. Oh,
Yeah.
man.
They did some beautiful
work.
stuff on that show. It was a joy to work on that.
Yeah. Okay. So, anyway, you guys, that's a quick little synopsis of how I look at it. One more thing, I'm going to say this again. Check out the video on drawing videos on one-on-one animation. But you guys, I can't say this enough. Draw forms and shapes just in space. When you're doodling, just draw these. Don't have to be perfect drawings. Just draw that. Fill up pages of three-dimensional shapes to forms, and just draw abstract shapes like this. I have a student of mine, and he's getting much better. And I just teach him mainly about animation. No, I cannot take on any more students. But he took, from doing all the drawings that we did, in his class, his teacher said, okay, now I want you to draw for fun. And in his class, it's not figure drawing, their costume, and just draw for fun. And when you draw just abstract doodles like this, even that, you're just keeping your pencil, pen, whatever you're dealing with, busy all the time, and you're just drawing things like this, it's going to pay off. Trust me. If you're too tired to sit there and figure out, anatomy, to work on anatomy. It's good to understand anatomy. It's all good. You should learn it all as much as you can. That's really the best advice I got.
2 good questions here. Not that the others weren't, but this is 2 more good questions. One is from Andrew Sharp. He says, have you ever used animation maquettes for any of the jobs you guys have had? Cats Don't Dance, right? Did you ever use it?
I did. Yes. Oh, yeah. Little Darla. I didn't get that maquette until after.
That was a gift.
Yeah, it was a gift.
Darla, you had a Darla maquette?
Yeah. We had the Darla one, and I remember I borrowed who's the main character?
Danny?
Danny. I borrowed a Danny from someone.
Oh, okay.
Because I had to do a couple scenes.
And here's another. Well, I haven't really used them that much, but I know that they're extremely valuable because you can take that thing and hold it up and move it to a certain angle that you need to draw for the head or the arm or whatever, and it helps a lot to get that angle.
It does help, but I didn't refer to them that much.
Me neither.
It was mostly the model sheet, and then that's what I referred to more than anything.
Also, Josu Armendariz says, have you had to adapt designs in order to work better for animation? How is the communication between character designers and animators?
What would you say on that?
Have you had to adapt designs in order to work better for animation? If I'm reading the question right, I would say yes, because every project that you work on is a different style. Like the Mighty Bee is radically different from Tarzan, which is radically different from Fantasia 2000 or Iron Giant or whatever that we've done. So you have to adapt to those styles, and if you're lucky enough, you get hired on early enough to where you have time to ramp up and learn how to get used to that style and those characters.
That's a key point, you guys. If you're lucky enough to get in there, they usually give you quite a bit of time to get familiar with the characters. When you get thrown onto a picture, because you're working on a picture, comes to the end, but they need help on another picture, that can be a little more stressful.
Yeah, there's instances where you come in at the end of a picture and you have to learn to draw those characters quick. And get up to speed real fast, so that's a challenge.
But it's sort of like and you'll never know what you're going to be thrown onto. I worked on Fantasia 2000 where it was just triangles. They were butterflies, but this was what their design was, basically.
Abstract triangles?
Yeah, they were just this, right there. That's all it was. But you had to, there it was, very graphic, and it was a challenge. I'm telling you, even with those simple shapes. But then you get thrown onto, like Mike worked on Hercules, right?
Yeah, I did Hades with the fire hair.
Which, those look tough. Because again, it was graphic and forms.
Yeah, he had a very graphic nose on him.
Yeah.
Also, the second part of that question is, how is the communication between character designers and animators?
Basically, for me, I just got the package, and
I'd say it's generally good. I mean, if you have a real question, you go to them and they answer it.
Is that what they mean?
Yeah, they mean how is the communication between
they've always been cool.
Yeah,
as far as
never had
in my career.
Rick Hoppy says, even the best designs usually need some modifications by the animator to make the design more animatable. Yes, absolutely true.
Very good point. Good point. Yes.
Definitely.
Yes.
Yeah, little tweaks and refinements and stuff.
Yes. There's that character designer for Panda. What's that called? The
Kung Fu Panda?
Yeah, Kung Fu Panda.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't remember his name. Just beautiful designs.
Yeah, great stuff.
But you couldn't animate the detail that he puts into these designs. It would take cleanup a day to do each drawing.
Yeah.
So that had to be refined, some of those characters. And a lot of times you guys understand that there are artists that get hired for inspiration. And they will come up they'll just do whatever comes out of their imagination. They got a big imagination, that's why they get hired. and from those, then it will get more refined.
Yeah, they usually try to, at least at Disney, I remember they try to use some sort of an artist to get the style rolling in that direction, to use it for a lot of inspiration.
Yeah. All right.
I don't see any more questions.
Okay. All right, Rico.
Yeah,
Well,
we
we're
covered a
on
lot.
for, let's see, how long were we on?
About
An hour.
yeah.
Yeah. All right, you guys. Again, thank you for joining us. Great questions. Hope this was helpful. And say goodbye.
And
go
remember,
ahead,
if
Rico.
you see an animator on the street and you say, "Hey," and they don't say anything, just remember they're cooped up in their cubicle all day because their social graces are out the window. Don't hold it against them.
If you see me, don't say hey, because I go, "What do you want?" I'm like the John Lennon where you're the Paul McCartney.
Joseph says, "Cool, thanks."
Oh, by the way, you guys, if you're a Beatle fan, and if you got, which I know a lot of you do have, Disney TV Plus, check out that Beatle documentary. Get Back. It's really good. I recommend it if you're a Beatle fan. Okay.
All right.
Say goodbye, Rico.
Goodbye, Rico.
Goodbye, Rico.
Take care, you guys. Thanks for joining us.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.